What is up, everyone? The Baltimore Orioles win number 90. Win number 90 for the boys. What a year. Through all the shit, through all the crap over the past few months, it felt like 90 wins was a fever dream. It felt like 90 wins would be a miracle. But the Baltimore Orioles have made it to 90 wins on game 161 with one to spare. Yeah, a lot of things to talk about. Well, I guess Emmanuel Rivera, Jackson Holiday. It was a good showing from the guys. It's a meaningless baseball game. I mean, we talk about win number 90, but all in all, it was just kind of a baseball game that had to be played because the schedule said so. And yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people talking about Yankees losing. We're going to play the damn song in a few minutes. Don't you worry. Today's probably going to be a shorter episode, probably only like 20, 25 minutes, mostly because not much to talk about. Tomorrow, we're going to dig into kind of all of our playoff stuff after game 162. And two, I'm still in Ohio, and I got to get back to Baltimore tomorrow for the pregame show. So I got to get all that sorted out. But the Baltimore Orioles win 9-2. The Emmanuel Rivera game, Jackson Holiday gets on 3 times. I mean, you can say it's a useless game. You can say it doesn't mean anything. For guys like Jackson Holiday, for guys like Emmanuel Rivera, every single opportunity in Major League Baseball means something. Every single game in Major League Baseball, every single at-bat, every single opportunity means something to guys out there. You talk about guys like Bowman, like Davidson. These are guys that whether or not it's here or somewhere else, they're trying out for different teams. I'm seeing Steve. Yeah, Davidson looked really good tonight. Ground ball machine. But if you really get the overall feel why I enjoyed this game so much, one, it's really cool to get win number 90. But two, guys like Adley Rutschman, Adley 2 for 6. Adley, we've been talking about for the past few weeks. I feel like a broken record at this point. But it's true. If Adley Rutschman, he's the last piece this team's waiting on. You talk about Gunner's been hot. You talk about obviously getting Westberg back. Tony's been doing his thing. Kowser's got the home run ball going again. The offense was starting to click 1 through 9. Guys like Seti, Urias hitting well. The one guy that it was really, you were still waiting on to see what he could do. And if he clicks, it's Adley Rutschman. Adley Rutschman was the one guy remaining in the offense that we've talked about. It runs through him. The offense runs through Adley Rutschman. When he is on, the entire offense seems to click. You know, we talk about, yes, Gunner, talent-wise, is probably the best player on this team. Tony, when he's hot, is one of the best power hitters in baseball. But there is something about Adley Rutschman being on when he is hitting well, when he is going out there calling good games, when every aspect of Adley's game, when he's working at bats, he's having quality at bat after quality at bat. That's the thing. When Adley Rutschman's on, it doesn't matter if he gets out or gets on base. He makes the pitcher work every single at bat. And that's what we're seeing today. Another great outing from Adley Rutschman, just another day, 2 for 6. You take that any day. He's the guy that I really am hoping can get hot going into the playoffs. He's the guy I'm really hoping come playoffs can put it all together and just be the Adley Rutschman that we know, the guy that was an all-star starter this year. You know, this feels like he's the guy. He's always been the guy Adley has. Adley has always been that guy where the offense seems to just be on a different level when he's working. Besides Adley Rutschman, Ryan O'Hearn. I've been saying it for like a few days now. I think Ryan O'Hearn has probably been the hottest hitter on the Baltimore Orioles the past like 10, 15 games. Probably 10 games. Let me look up what his stats are the last 10 games. Because Ryan O'Hearn, another home run, career high. He had hit 14 twice already in his career. tonight was his career high 15th home run. So shout out Ryan O'Hearn. Great guy, better player. Just so let's look at Ryan O'Hearn last 10 games. This is the live stat lookups, you guys. You only get on Kevin and Zach React. So over the last 10 games, Ryan O'Hearn's banged 344 with 11 hits, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. I mean, dog. He's only not had a hit in 2 of those games. He's had a hit in 8 of his last 10. Let's take this back to 15. How hot's this guy been? Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's not 15. But over his last 10, he's probably been the hottest hitter on this team. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I said it wasn't going to happen before. This would have been something. If the Orioles would have won on Thursday, tomorrow would have gotten really interesting. Tomorrow would have been really interesting if we would have won on Thursday and suddenly tomorrow was win and Yankees lose in the division, George. There would have been so much pressure on the Yankees these past few days. So, yeah, no, that sucks, but man, that would have been something. That would have been something if the Orioles would have won Thursday and we'd be sitting here talking about how tomorrow would have been potentially for the division. I would have just loved to see Yankee fans stress about it. And obviously, because the Yankees lost, it wouldn't be Kevin and Zach React after an Orioles win and the Yankees loss if we didn't play the other song. Once again, I'll say it again. I don't care they won the division. I don't care that they're the 1 seed. Anytime the New York Yankees lose is a time to celebrate in Major League Baseball. Every single time. Every single time the Yankees lose is a time to celebrate. Good times, better people. And speaking of better people, I don't know about better people, but another person, Kevin Ostreicher. Kevin, Orioles win number 90, just as we all suspected at the beginning of the year. The O's get win number 90 after Emmanuel Rivera sets the season high for an Oriole of 11 total bases in a game, just as we suspected on opening day.
Man, I was just about to give you compliments on how your transitions have been on point recently, and then you just go ahead and diss me like that. I can't say it. But yeah, just business that needed to be taken care of ahead of the wild card. Again, not really like a ton. I mean, the game itself was great. The Orioles crushed them, but yeah, I mean, hey, you go get 16 hits. Tune-up games before the playoffs start, I think you'll take that. And we kind of talked about, who are we going to see? Who are we not going to see? Are they really going to play a bunch of guys? And, of course, we didn't get to, we didn't see the Gunners of the world and Cowsers and everybody. But, I think it was great that, everybody but Tony got a hit, and then Tony makes a play in the field. So everybody got involved in different ways. So it was a fun little game.
Yeah, it was a fun game. You look at guys like I just brought up Ryan O'Hearn's stats. He's been on fire the past 10 games. Adley had another 2-hit game. Jackson gets a 3-hit game. Now, while I don't think Jackson's going to necessarily start in the playoffs, it is just nice to see guys like that continue to, I said when we got on, it's useless for the standings in that aspect. But for guys like Jackson Holiday, for guys like Emmanuel Rivera, no at bat is ever useless. These guys are learning. Emmanuel Rivera's trying out, whether it's for the Orioles or another team. He's going to be on a major league roster next year. I'll tell you that. Emmanuel Rivera has earned that right. But you see guys like that getting their at bats, but then you also have the other side of O'Hearn, of Adley continuing to get their swings in before the playoffs. So just all in all, if you want to talk about great nights, this is like as good of a game for, okay, you're out of it. What did you hope to see tonight? Ryan O'Hearn, Adley continue to get their strokes back.
And then you have guys like Emmanuel Rivera continues to impress, and Jackson Holiday puts on an extremely just a great performance on base 4 times.
Yeah, it was great, and look again. You're doing what you're supposed to do against a Twins team that just has had the life sucked out of them for a while now, and they were in the race, and I think they're just ready to get it on over with. They're done, and
what happened to them?
I know now. That team's completely demoralized, and again, like that's a team where they've just completely given up, and they want to make it to the offseason. So yeah. I mean, you can tell even when their season was on the line, Correa's not hustling out balls down the line, and they gave up before their season's over. Like kind of a fall from grace there for Minnesota, but it's nice to see even the guys, because you know what, with all that we talk about with these stars are going to play in the playoffs, and those are the guys we got to keep an eye on and get ready. Well, they're going to have opportunities in the playoffs where Brandon Hyde's going to pinch hit somebody. Brandon Hyde's going to put someone in the lineup. It has to be all hands on deck. So to get your all hands on deck members going, can't have enough guys out at the same time. So that's what I love.
Yeah, and quickly get to the super checks. I appreciate you. Rivera had 11 bases. Absolute. It was funny. The first at bat, obviously, he homered his first at bat. Correct? Was it the first at? Because I remember it was the home run, and then he got the. Yeah, it was the home run, then the double, then the home run again, then the walk, then the infield single. It just felt like as soon as he hit the home run, I was like, oh, yeah, nice. Like Emmanuel Rivera, like, do your thing, bro. Then he got the double, and it was like, nice. Like, stay hot, kid. And then the second it left the bat for the second home run, I audibly said, no way. I was like, there's no way. Like, it was as soon as it left the bat, you're like, this, you've got to be kidding me. And then love baseball. He walks, and then in the ninth, you've already hit 2 balls over 400 feet. How are you reaching the ninth? It's baseball, so of course it's an infield single.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Mike, appreciate you. You see Anthony Rizzo fracture his hand. Yeah, so he's going to be done for the season, off-season.
Well, it was actually his fingers, wasn't his hand.
Yeah, it was.
So they said he might play in the playoffs, but Ben Rice is going to be a consideration.
Yeah, which one, Anthony Rizzo hasn't been batting well enough.
Yeah, it's not. He's not a difference maker for that team. Like between him and Ben Rice, I mean, I think it's a drop from Rizzo to Rice, but I don't think it's like that drastic drop that people would want it to be. Like it's all right.
Yeah, and Kevin, I didn't bring it up when you were on, but I'll bring it up again. I just talked about because I know where you stood on the subject. Yankees have lost 2 straight. Had the Orioles won on Thursday. Suddenly, tomorrow could have been an interesting, very interesting game.
Yeah, and you know where I stand on it. Everybody knows. I thought it didn't sit right with me. Obviously, I understand why the organization decided to do what they did and pull Corbin early and everything, but I mean, it's not over till it's over, man. And once you're locked into a seed, then by all means, do whatever you need to do. But when there's still a chance, it's like what Ryan says and Rocco says all the time. So you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah.
And if the Orioles win tomorrow and the Yankees lose, it's going to reflect very poorly on the organization for what they did.
Yeah. So, one thing I wanted to talk about. Colton Cowser did not play today. However, he might be the biggest winner of any Oriole today as Luis Gil.
Yeah.
For the New York Yankees.
Hey, the Orioles are big winners too in this whole situation.
Yeah.
If they get that draft pick.
Yeah. So if Luis Gil goes out today, gives up 4 home runs, 6 earned runs against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and it's going to be, I don't know. I was checking FanDuel earlier and they took odds off. I'm going to check if they're up again because I'd be very, very interested to see what they look like after this.
Yeah, and what a year it's been for Colton Cowser, Rookie of the Year.
They won't even let me view it. That's crazy.
Yeah, what a year it's been.
Give options anymore.
Yeah. First, he was the runaway. Then he went through the slump, and there was no way. Then he got hot again, and he was the runaway. And then he got cold again. Then there was no shot. Now he's hot again, and he seems to be the favorite now. So, man, it's been up and down for Colton. But you know what? I think he'll start the year like he'll end it, and that seems to be the favorite for Rookie of the Year.
While I'm here, should I just throw what are the odds for Emmanuel Rivera to win World Series MVP? Colton Cowser is plus 12,500 to win World Series MVP.
Wow.
$1 pays out $126.
It's not horrible. I mean, Colton is so a guy that could get hot.
I would just put down $10 on every single MLB player.
Yeah, of course, Shohei's the leader.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
He's plus 950.
Yeah.
I don't think they win it.
The World Series, you mean?
Yeah, they'd have to win it, and Shohei have to be the MVP.
Well, yeah, but you're saying you're not picking the Dodgers to win the World Series.
No, I can't. Once the Dodgers can in a non-shortened season can get to the World Series, I'll believe they're contenders in the playoffs again. Till then, I can't trust that franchise to win in the playoffs. It doesn't matter how much talent they have; they just can't get it done.
Yeah, a lot of disappointment. Of disappointment.
And Steve, I did it again last night. Oh, wait, wrong one. Steve, we warned the MLB not to let the Orioles get hot, and they didn't listen. And Sam, just as we all suspected, Emmanuel Rivera gets win number 90, helps get win number 90 for the Orioles.
Yeah, man, start. Keep going. Just keep going.
They really are hitting their stride at the perfect time, and it is kind of one of those things that I get giddy about because this was what we when we were talking about our dream scenario just a month ago, it was like they get all these guys back, they start hitting well, they're hitting with runners in scoring position, the starting pitching continues to pitch well, the bullpen gets their act together when they get guys like Coulomb and Webb back. And for the most part, the only thing that hasn't gone right from the dream scenario is you didn't get Grayson back. Yep. That would be the one piece from the dream scenario that didn't happen. But besides that, if you a month ago were going to tell me, hey, this is what's going to go down, I'd take in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I like it, Rick. It feels like the Scrappy Birds again.
We had talked about how, and again, you're right, Grayson is now not a factor in this anymore, but we talked about Danny and Westberg and Arias and Mountcastle and all these guys. That is the best reinforcement package in all of baseball. And once you got those guys back, Zach, we knew the Orioles missed Jordan Westberg a ton. Like we never doubted that, but just to see him back in the lineup and, just the overall boost this team has gotten from having both him and Ramon back and Mountie and all these guys, like we had said it, if this team gets their guys back, it wasn't looking pretty for a while there. We certainly said it.
Yeah.
But again, this is like the calm before, the big push, right? The calm before everything, where we're sitting here imagining the what ifs, and we're seeing this team get hot, and we're seeing them get back on track. And, I'm kind of sitting here and I was like, man, I care, but I don't. Like, I care about the playoffs, man. Like, that's what I'm waiting for. Like these games, you love to see what you're seeing from this team, and I'm not trying to downplay it, but I'm just like, can we fast forward a couple days now? Can we get this thing rolling? Because you don't want to have them lose the momentum.
Yeah.
And man, it's cool to watch them become the Orioles again, or at least for now, become the Orioles again that we know they can be.
Yeah, and that's all you want is you just want them to be those Orioles. You know, they don't have to be anything super special. They don't have to actually, in fact, I'd prefer them not try to be special, because that's what got them in the slump in the first place, was the idea that they had to hit everything for a home run. They had to always be the game-winning hit. They wouldn't go out there and just, like last year they would, and just hand it off to the next guy. You don't have to hit the grand slam to go ahead. Sometimes just the single gets it done. The fly ball, sac fly gets them in. You know, it was the too much hero ball. Just play for the next guy. Just get the momentum going, Kevin, like you said, and continue what they're doing.
Yep. That's all they need to do. Don't try to do too much. That's the big thing.
Yep. And Kyle, appreciate you. Do you think Kyle? I think, after Heel today, I think it's a lot closer. I thought Heel, all he had to do was put a solid start in today, and he would probably get the nod. But it's going to be interesting now, especially if Kowser plays tomorrow and just gets a hit or two.
Yeah.
It could be. And then Kyle, again, appreciate you. Do you think Crochet is an Oriole next year? Burns wants to be with his family in/near Arizona. If Burns isn't back, I think Crochet is an option for sure. I think he definitely is.
I don't think the thing with I don't think Screwball gets traded this offseason anymore. I mean,
it depends if the Tigers management thinks it was just like a fluky run.
At least, I'll revise and I'll say it was a lot less likely than it was.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
I'll revise to that statement. But I think that if Burns leaves, and again, this is looking far ahead in the future, we still have the playoffs to go here. But if Burns does leave, I'd expect them to go back to the trade market and see what's there. Because I think they still have a couple of guys they can package together. And again, as we've talked about, the packages in the offseason, it takes a lot less to get a guy than at the trade deadline. So if they were targeting a high-end starter, and there might be a team that didn't want to move him at the deadline, because we had talked about it, Zach. Remember, it's a lot of teams didn't know if they were contenders or pretenders or not, a.k.a. the Detroit Tigers. And they decided to sell off their pieces.
They guessed wrong. They traded everyone. They traded Flaherty. You could say the biggest package to go for anyone was the Dodgers gave up for Jack Flaherty, and then the Tigers ended up being the best team in baseball since.
Yeah, which is unbelievable. But so a lot of teams made business decisions of, we could get value for this guy now, but we want to see who we are over these next couple months. And so if it didn't work the way that they wanted it to, there could be a couple of high-end guys available this offseason. And again, if the Orioles had acquired Corbin Burns at the trade deadline, it would have cost a whole heck of a lot more than DL Hall, Joey Ortiz, and a competitive balance pick. I mean,
yeah. So the offseason is when you should make these moves.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. And real fast, saw a quick comment over here from Spire DXN.
Yes.
And you will be. We will be reacting to after every Ravens game, obviously every postseason game, every Ravens game. But then for Orioles, whenever stuff happens, obviously moves are made. We've also discussed, because obviously the Ravens are just every once a week. And the Orioles are every night. We're going to figure out some sort of thing to do, probably weekly.
Yeah,
go along with it.
Something I was thinking about, Zach, and maybe we can just brainstorm with everybody in the chat. I mean, people can get the inside look at kind of how we talk about things. But one thing that I feel like would be cool is if we did, more like videos. So kind of what we did at the beginning is like, maybe we hop on and do a 10-minute recording on, should the Orioles go after Garrett Crochet? And that doesn't necessarily constitute a live stream, but it's like, it's still a really important topic. And you and I can react to, hey, should they do this? Should they not? And then, maybe the
rumor mill. I like the
rumor. Hey, that's a
the
name.
Rumor mill. Especially because the offseason is such a slow burn in the MLB.
Yeah.
It'll be one move. My favorite thing about the MLB offseason is the first move that gets made, and everyone's like, oh shit, it started. There's never, for baseball or for NFL, for NBA, for hockey, it's always at 4 p.m. on this Tuesday, the new league year starts, and it happens, and then like we do, it's just bam, move. MLB, it's like so-and-so just got traded. You're like, oh shit, we're doing that. And they're like, yeah, offseason started 2.5 weeks ago. Like people have been able to. And you're like, oh, okay. And then it's like some minor leaguer gets traded and that's how you find out. It happens every year. Every year that first major league signing happens and you're like, oh, they can do that now. Okay.
Over the last 10, 15 years, it has gotten a lot quieter for the majority of.
I mean, I'm just hoping that this year's better because of what happened with Boris clients last year. Like
I would assume
it's got to be. And I like MLB has talked about even putting like a deadline on players have to be signed to go on, by a certain time because we should not be having Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery a week before. It was a week before opening day. Didn't JD Martinez sign like after opening day? Like some of these.
Yeah, it was either right before or just after. But yeah, that's what we're going to plan to probably do more of that of like reacting and us giving our analysis on, whether the Orioles should bring back guys or what the Orioles should do. Maybe
he was signed
lineup.
He was signed on because opening day was like the 26th, and he was signed on the 23rd.
Yep.
3 days before opening day, we had one, and he had a damn good season.
Yeah, but then probably a couple live streams a week, maybe 1 or 2. Just maybe not like hour and a half type deal, but maybe like 30.
Yeah, just a quick 30 minutes, just to keep updated. We can.
Yeah, talk. I feel like if we just
if Ravens news happens, we'll talk.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. I don't think we're necessarily going to hit on the basketball or hockey spheres as much. Obviously, I'm a huge Nuggets fan, but I don't think a lot of other people in here are huge Nuggets fans. So we could react to it. We want to react. How'd you feel about that cat trade last night?
Oh, I'm interested about how that goes down. I did not. It's interesting for both teams. Like both sides, I'm curious about. Like I'm not sure I see. Like I both see and don't see why both sides.
It was for money. They had to trade Cat or else they would have been way, way, way over the luxury tax. And their ownership situation is weird where like A-Rod is trying to buy the team with Mark Lohr, but like Glenn Taylor now refuses to sell the team because they're good again now.
Yeah.
After they'd already agreed to a deal to sell the team. So that's all weird. And so I don't think they wanted to go into it with like, I guess more money because they would have had to trade Naz Reid and Nickeil Alexander-Walker if they didn't trade Cat just to keep afloat. But as a Nuggets guy, like I'm coming out of that feeling pretty good because Cat won them that Denver series where obviously the Nuggets just like were so tired and blew that 20-point lead. It's disgusting saying it still, but they could throw 2 bigs at Jokic, and now Julius Randle is a even bigger playoff dropper. Baby. Julius Randle is a good player, but he's a bigger playoff dropper than people claim Cat is.
Yeah,
and I just think that with the like DiVincenzo is a heck of a player. Like it's essentially Cat for DiVincenzo, and then I think they're going to try to move Randle or something.
Yeah,
I would assume, but. I look, the Wolves kind of solved the Nuggets in a way, and they could throw 2 bigs at Jokic and they'd have Gordon kind of roaming, but they couldn't roam him because they had too much length. But Randall's like a 4-inch downgrade in terms of height. So I don't know, man. The shooting got better, but that Gobert Randall spacing, get that off the road, dude. Get that off the road.
Then what spacing? That's literally both on the block. They're going to do Julius Randle's going to do that ISO thing where he calls for the ball and then just does a singular move and then just drives to the basket.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to trade Randle and Dillingham for like Markkanen or like some guy who fits them more.
Yeah,
because I don't know. I don't think in today's league, I don't think a Gobert Randle spacing combo is efficient.
2007 it works. Works in 07. Yeah, it works in 07. Don't work now.
Not today. Not today. So
anything about the Orioles got left, Kevin?
No, that was again, not really too much to talk about with these games until the playoffs start.
That's
take away individual performances, but even though they played well, these guys are looking to the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we'll be back tomorrow. Another interesting day ahead of us tomorrow. So, not really sure when we will be.
What time is the game tomorrow?
It's gonna be 1 o'clock, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know my timing tomorrow, so we're gonna have to see.
Tomorrow we will keep you guys posted on when we will be talking about it at some point. They play at 3:10 tomorrow, actually.
That's a weird time.
All right, so they play at 3:10 tomorrow. So actually, it'll end right before the Ravens game. We'll talk about it at some point.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Nick, quick one up, one down. One up is Rivera. One down is the Twins.
I will go. My one up is I'll go Holiday. One up is Holiday. One down. One down is Nick Moore. Georgia getting absolutely smoked by Bama.
Yeah, absolutely demolished. Holy.
Yeah, that's a tough one to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it's 33-21. They're not going to do this, are they?
Oh, I thought the game was over.
So did I. Kind of assume, but Georgia's.
How much time is it?
7 minutes, and Georgia has the ball. It's a 12-point game. I mean, this isn't like
not insurmountable.
Yeah. All right. Well, that would actually be kind of cool. No, it won't. No, it won't. Because I have Alabama.
Of course.
It wouldn't be cool. But, yeah. All right. That'll do it for this episode of Kevin and Zach Reacts. We'll be back tomorrow at some point to break down the Orioles and Ravens games. We'll let you guys know the timing with all of that as we kind of figure it out as tomorrow goes. But that'll do it for this edition. And as always, Cheers.